Hi everyone, it's Robin Thompson, and I hope you enjoy this presentation on who are my representatives. We have two California federal senators, Dianne Feinstein, and Dianne Feinstein has built a reputation as a very independent voice. She works with both Democrats and Republicans to try and find solutions facing California and the nation. Since her election to the Senate in 1992, she's worked as a bipartisan way to build a significant record of legislative accomplishments, strengthening the nation's security at home and abroad, combating crime and violence, battle cancer, and protect natural resources in California and across the country. Couple points about her. She was the first woman president of San Francisco Board of Supervisors. She was the first mayor woman of San Francisco, the first woman elected senator of California, and the first woman member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. She is native to San Francisco. She served for 9 years as a San Francisco County Supervisor in 1969. She actually became mayor of San Francisco in 1978 following the assassination of Mayor George Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk. And the very next year, she was elected to the first of two 4-year terms. Because when she took over, she was finishing out the term from them, and there was only 2 years left. So her first term of 4 years happened that following term. As mayor, she managed the city's finances with a firm hand, and she had balanced 9 budgets in a row. And in 1987, she was named, the City and State magazine named her the most effective mayor. Kamala Harris, she was just elected this last term in 2016, and she'll be in office until 2023. She is also a Democrat. She also has some first female attributes to her. She's the first female African American to serve as Attorney General, and the second African American woman to be elected to the United States Senate in all of history. So throughout her year as a prosecutor, she's been an advocate for the most voiceless and vulnerable Californians. She fought hard during the mortgage crisis and won $20 billion for homeowners, and she passed the Homeowners Bill of Rights. She's aggressively defended the rights of consumers, winning many major settlements for forged innovative agreements with technology industry to improve privacy protections and crack down on piracy and online crime. She actually served 2 years as the district attorney of San Francisco. She defeated a 2-term incumbent, and she was the first elected to the attorney's office in 2003 and elected to that second term in 2007. She began her career in the Alameda County District Attorney's Office, where she specialized in prosecuting child sexual assault cases. She's born in Oakland. She is a graduate of Howard University, which is the oldest historically Black university. She received her law degree from the University of California, Hastings College of Law. Next up, Congressman Mark Takano. He is the representative of the 41st Congressional District. He is also a Democrat. He was born and raised in Riverside, California. He attended La Sierra High School, and he graduated in 1979, and he was the school's valedictorian. He attended Harvard College, got his bachelor's degree in government in 83, and he actually was a high school teacher at Rialto High School prior to him, after his graduation. For more than 20 years, he's worked to improve the lives of Riverside County residents as an elected official and also as that high school teacher. In 1990, he was elected to Riverside Community College District's Board of Trustees. He works with Republicans and Democrats to improve higher education for young people and job training opportunities for adults. He actually was the first openly gay person of color to be elected into Congress, and he represents the people of Riverside, Moreno Valley, Jurupa Valley, and Paris. He serves as the acting ranking member of the House Committee on Veterans Affairs and as a member of Education and Workforce Committee and the Science, Space, and Technology Committee. Vote for Mark. And this is what his district map looks like, District 41. So again, he's representing the cities of Riverside, Moreno Valley, Jurupa, Paris, Next up, the state senator, Mr. Senator Richard Roth. He also is another Democrat. Lots of Democrats here in California. He was elected to represent the California state's 31st Senate District on November 6, 2012. He serves on the Joint Committee on Emergency Management Services. He's part of the Budget and Fiscal Review, Transportation and Housing, Health, Veterans Affairs. He's also a member of the Senate Select Committee on Defense and Aerospace. Throughout his life, in the 90s, he worked as a reserve judge and a judge advocate at an Air Force base in Georgia. He retired from the Air Force in 2007 after 32 years of service in the grade of Major General. So over his career, he's received numerous awards and decorations, including the Distinguished Service Medal, the Legion of Merit, the Meritorious Service Medal, and the Air Force Commendation Medal. He engaged in the practice of labor and employment law with Riverside-based firms for over 30 years. He actually is a member of the state bar in California and Georgia. And prior to establishing his law practice, he worked as an attorney with the National Labor Relations Board. He's also vice chairman on the Parkview Community Hospital Board, past member of the Riverside Public Library Foundation Board, and the Riverside Art Museum Board. There's a couple pictures from him in his military days. 32 years in the service. That's a great time. Great. Next up, we have our State Assembly member, Sabrina Cervantes. And Sabrina Cervantes is also a Democrat. And she was elected this last term in November 2016. She represents the 60th District of Corona, Riverside, Norco, Eastvale, and Harupa Valley. She is a committed public servant. She has demonstrated a history of civic engagement to enhance the communities and lives of all of the Riverside residents. She was a former district director for Assemblymember Jose Medina. She worked along him doing community organizations to enhance our economy. She has a lot of knowledge in Riverside community as she grew up here, and it aided her in the understanding the critical elements that our residents here need to be successful. Prior to her public service, she worked as a director for the California Voter Registration Project, where she led and implemented strategic planning that increased civic responsibility among new and eligible voters across California. She currently serves on the board of directors for the University of California, Riverside Chicano Latino Alumni Association, and the nonprofit organization True Evolution. She earned her bachelor's degree in political science with a minor in public policy from the University of California, Riverside, and completed an executive education program at the John F. Kennedy School of Government at Harvard. Okay, gerrymandering. What in the world is gerrymandering? So it can be explained as when someone's trying to achieve or drawing political boundaries to give your party a numeric advantage over an opposing party. And an example might be you have a very little tiny state of 50 people. 30 of them belong to the blue party, 20 belong to the red party. And just your luck, they all live in a nice even grid with the blue ones on one side of the state and the reds on the other. But let's say you have to divide the state into 5 districts. So each district sends one representative to the House to represent the people. And ideally, you want the representation to be proportional. So if 60% of our residents are blue and 40% are red, those 5 seats should be divided the same way. But it's hard to do. And last semester, I had a state and local government course, and we had to, as a project, actually do some redistricting. So we had to basically split up the state to be equal. And it was a very hard thing to do. Every time you thought that looked right, it wasn't. It's hard to get everything to be equal. And this is just kind of a picture of what it looks like. 4 different ways to do it. The first example is just you have 50 people, and the second column you got 3 blue districts, 2 blue, and 3 blue and 2 red. Blue would win. The next one blue would win. The next one red would win. So this first one, as you can see, you can divide it all up many different ways. So as far as gerrymandering, and here in my own district, I think that it's pretty fair. I'm sure that there's always one group of people, whether it's by race or by political party association, that might feel that it's not. But I think it's pretty close is how we can get it. But the reason I feel that it's pretty fair is in 2012, new electoral maps were drawn by the Citizens Redistricting Commission, and they were first used in 2012 elections, and they remain in effect until 2020. So Riverside's state and federal legislative districts have all changed substantially. So the new districts are described as more purple, which would mean that it is a mix. It's not just blue, it's not just red, it's purple. There's a good mix. So it's a more mixed electoral composition compared to the mostly safe districts of the previous decade, where most incumbents were almost guaranteed re-election. And I hope you all enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.